¿Qué tal amigos? Les saluda Gustavo Mancilla para el minnesotadehoy.com. Quedan tan solo algunas semanas para la elección presidencial de este 2020, además de otros puestos políticos a nivel federal. ¿Quién mejor que para decirnos de qué se trata esta elección y cómo nosotros, como votantes, podemos participar, que el Secretario del Estado de Minnesota, el señor Steve Simon, quien está el día de hoy con nosotros? Steve, ¿cómo está usted? Saludos.
Saludos. Hello. Thank you for having me.
La pregunta principal de esto, ¿está Minnesota listo para estas elecciones de noviembre 3? So the main question is Minnesota ready? Is your office ready for this presidential election on November 3rd?
I feel very good about where we are. The pandemic this year has made an already complex election even more complex, but I am sure that we have taken the steps along with our partners in county and city government to make sure we run a smooth, safe, and secure election this year.
¿Cuáles son algunas de las cosas que los votantes minnesotanos deben saber para esta elección? Which are some of the things that we as voters in Minnesota need to know in specific for this upcoming election?
I'll tell you, because of the pandemic, we determined early on that we had to look at this election a little bit differently this year. It really is a public health challenge as much as a regular election challenge. And because in Minnesota, we average about 1,000 people per polling place, we wanted to try to get that number down. And so one of the things that I am doing and we are doing is really urging people to consider voting from home this year. Nobody has to do that. You can go to a polling place, of course, and both methods are equally legitimate and are counted the same. But voting from home this year presents a number of interesting possibilities. It's very easy to do. You just go to a website, and the website is mnvotes.org, mnvotes.org, and it takes just a few minutes to have the ballot come to you where you live at home. Normally, the reason most people do that is comfort and convenience. You can vote with your feet up, you can vote while you're eating or watching TV, and people like that. But this year, there are more reasons to do it. One reason is just minimizing risk. And the other reason is there's a public service aspect to this. Every person who votes from home this year is making the polling place just a little bit safer for everyone who chooses that way of voting on election day. So mnvotes.org is the website. There are many, many people choosing that. Right now, about 1 million people have already asked to have their ballots sent to them at home, which is well over 1/3 of all voters. And I think that number is going to climb. So many, many people are choosing that option. The in-person option is always available. We have 3,000 polling places across Minnesota, so that's always available. But if we can even it out just a little bit, that will be better for everyone.
Very nice. So please tell us, what is the process for voting via mail?
Yeah, well, it's a two-step process. First, you have to request that the ballot comes to you. It doesn't come automatically. And you can either do that by going on the website, mnvotes.org, or you can use just the regular old paper form that you can get from a city office or a county office, or maybe someone can print it out and you can fill it out that way. And you provide your information, and if you're not registered to vote, you can register right there. And then the ballot will be mailed to you at your home address. And then after that, the rule in Minnesota this year is you can mail it as late as the general election day, which is November 3rd, Tuesday, November 3rd, as long as it also arrives within 1 week. So if it arrives by November 10th, Tuesday, and it was sent no later than Tuesday, November 3rd, it's a good vote, it will be counted. And so that gives everyone in Minnesota automatically 7 days to get that ballot from the first point to the second point. And that should be very comforting to people in terms of mailing something and using the mail.
Muy bien, so ¿cómo yo sé que este voto a través del correo es seguro? How do I know that this modality of voting through the mail is safe? Can I track this voting?
Yeah, it's very safe and it's very secure. And the reason it is that everybody who orders the ballot has to provide some form of personal identification. It can be a social security number, it could be a driver's license number, it could be a state ID number. There's a list of things that you can use. And then it has to be returned with that same information once you get the ballot. The reason that's secure is that even if someone steals your ballot, your blank ballot, what if someone went to your mailbox and took the ballot out of there and tried to vote it for themselves? They won't be able to vote it for themselves unless they had the voter's personal identifying information. And so that's why in recent history, it has never happened. I've asked people who have been around for a long time, do you know of even one example of someone who steals another person's ballot and is able to vote that ballot? And they don't know of a single example in Minnesota in recent history. So that's why it's secure. And then the other thing is anyone who uses the ballot or uses the mail to get the ballot back can track their ballot on our website. If you go to that same website, mnvotes.org, and you just type in your information, you will see the exact day that your ballot arrived, and you will be told that it was processed or it was counted, which is really a great peaceful feeling to know that the ballot arrived. You don't just have to put it in a mailbox and say a prayer or hope that it got there. You can know for sure whether it got there. But one other thing, if I may, that I'd like to add is because you get the ballot sent to you by mail does not mean that you must return it by mail. Every voter may hand deliver it to an election office. So that address and that information will be in the materials that you receive, and you can hand deliver it, or you can have someone that you know and trust hand deliver it for you. So if you don't trust the mail for whatever reason, that's okay. It will be mailed to you, but you don't have to get it back that way.
Thank you very much. Mucha gente ha hablado sobre los problemas que tiene el U.S. Postal Service. Do we know what is the status on the U.S. Postal Service? Many people has distrust that their vote might not arrive on time.
Yeah, I am disturbed by some of the reports about delays in the Postal Service. However, I am confident that we can overcome any delays in Minnesota. So I already mentioned that every person in Minnesota has an automatic 7-day period at minimum to get the ballot from their home or from a mailbox to the elections office. That's nice. I mentioned that you can already track your ballot and that you can hand deliver your ballot, but there's two other things. I really urge everyone who's potentially interested in this to order their ballot now. Don't wait until late October. Do it now. And you can even do it if you're not yet sure that that's the way you want to vote. I say that because you can change your mind. You could order a ballot to come to you and then say, I think I want to go in and do it in person. So it's okay to order it now at mnvotes.org. And secondly, I would say, please get the ballot back in as soon as you are comfortable with your choices. Now, any voter can wait until the end, until election day, of course. And if you want to do that, that's great. But if you're the kind of voter that knows a week before election day or 2 weeks or more before election day who you're going to vote for, and nothing will really probably change your mind, I would urge you to get the ballot in either by hand delivery or by mail sooner than election day. So send it a week in advance or 2 weeks if you're comfortable. If you're not, that's okay too. But if you know who you want to vote for in advance of election day, send it in or get it in as soon as you know.
With the political climate and also with COVID-19, I wonder if you have some recommendations for some of us that prefer to attend personally on voting day to these places.
My only recommendation would be to know that it's going to be safe and it's going to be secure. Our office has spent a lot of time and energy and money to purchase and distribute to all 3,000 polling places PPE or supplies. We have high-grade masks for all of the election workers. We have regular, more disposable masks for all voters who show up without one. We have hand sanitizer and pumps and wipes, and in some cases, the elections workers even have face shields with the clear plastic shield. There are plastic barriers and other things in polling places, and we have rules in place that maintain social distancing of 6 feet and call for the automatic wipe down and cleaning of all the polling surfaces after the voters have used them. So we feel good that it's going to be a safe place to be. And if anyone doesn't know where to go to vote, to physically vote on election day, just go to our website, again, mnvotes.org, and when you put in your address, it'll tell you exactly where to go on election day to vote in person.
We really appreciate this information. Do you have any last message to the people that maybe is planning or is on the verge between voting and not voting? Why is it so important to participate in this election?
Yeah, first of all, this is one of the most important elections in the last century, I would say. It really is important, no matter where you are politically. It's just very, very important. The other thing I would say about that is, your vote really is your voice. And I understand that there are many people all across Minnesota and across America who think, yeah, I don't like politics, I don't like politicians, I don't like campaigns, I don't want to spend my time on a process that I don't like or I don't trust. And I understand that. That's a natural feeling sometimes. But I think the best way to put it is the language that I saw a few years ago on a t-shirt. And the language said that failure to vote is not an act of rebellion, it's an act of surrender. Meaning, if you sit out the election, you're not doing anything for a cause, you're really giving up something. And you're giving up something very valuable, which is power. You're giving up some power to someone else who does vote. And so I ask people, even if you feel that way about politics or campaigns, don't give in to that. It's simpler now to vote, it's easier now to vote than it ever has been, and it's important that people do it, particularly this year. And I would add, too, for those whose native language is not English, our office, all of our materials, both online and in print, in 12 different non-English languages. That's very important to me. I'm the son of an immigrant, so I understand how that goes and how very important that is, particularly on government documents, particularly on official matters. Very important to have all communities represented and to be able to have things in as many people's native languages as possible. We do that 12 languages.
Estupenda es la información. Muchísimas gracias, señor Steve Simon, el secretario de Estado para el Estado de Minnesota, quien muy amablemente nos ha ofrecido este tiempo para el Minnesota de hoy, para la audiencia de elminnesotadehoy.com. Thank you very much, Mr. Simon.
Thank you very much.